Hello everyone, Dino Don here with the next update on the progress of my repairs on the Corsair. This past 3 days, Friday, Saturday, today's Sunday, we were in the pushing 70s like all 3 days. And then we had high winds and stuff blowing through, just like a lot of people are going through right now with all the storms down in the southern states from Texas all the way to Georgia. So we've been catching a bunch of the high winds up here, but at most part, every morning I wake up, it's just clear blue skies and sunny. And then the temperatures managed to get into the, it was right around 70, give or take, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So today. And then the weather came through. We got a little rain, some thunder and that, but they had a tornado warning or watch out for this area. And so we managed to get by that. Now that the rain came through, the temperatures dropped, and I think tomorrow they're only calling for mid-40s for a high. So, all right, well, I still have my vertigo. It's not gone yet. I'm able to walk around a lot better, but the movement of the head is what triggers it the most, you know. So if I'm sitting down, laying down, I don't even notice it. But if I stand up and go to move, then it kicks in. But even if I'm sitting and I turn my head too hard, you know, left or right, you can tell it's still there. But I'm doing better. It seems to be taming down a little bit. But so, well, anyway, because of this problem with vertigo, I haven't been able to drive at all, so I can't work. I haven't been able to work at all. And since I ain't working, I ain't got no income coming in, so I'm down to like $25 after grocery shopping yesterday. So, I decided to come out here and work on something that doesn't require me to order any materials, buy anything. So I finally came out here, and as you can see, I cut that little notch out. That is the original placement for the nav lights. Here's the foam I cut out of it here. And the problem is I did cut it out so it matches the length of the boards this way and the length of the boards that way. But the boards, you know, the boards are like 2.5 times taller than this. So they're not going to fit in there that way. So that's going to take a little figuring out what I want to do with that. So I decided, all right, let me get back onto this repair of this cowling. So I've got it for the most part done. This is all still wet. I've got I think one layer of fiberglass out here on the outside. That's the bad thing with this camera is you can't get too close to anything. And then there's 2 layers on the inside. Let me see if I can pick it up. And I repaired the bottom area there where the exhaust came out. Let me see if I can tip this up on the edge because I can't really set it down because the stuff is still too tacky. But it's hard to tell, but there's actually 2 to 3 layers of cloth on the inside that comes down to basically that line right there and then comes all the way up here. So but that's the inside of the bottom cowling. You can still see all those little holes there were from those pieces of stainless steel sheet metal I bent up to go around the ceramic blanket that I had in there for heat. Well, it turns out that blanket had kind of rubbed through, and the exhaust came out basically right in this area, and it burnt the fiberglass and the foam right there where you can see that white square. That's microbloom filler, and you can actually see some of the chard marks still left on that one and a little bit of char mark there. So it literally burnt right into that because that muffler had dropped down and was setting on there, so it went right through that ceramic blanket. I gotta kind of set this down. I can't stand it on end like that one. Sorry. So that's the only problem. This is a wide angle camera also. Because of this stuff here, this is curing. There's epoxy there, and then this stuff will be trimmed off. So I can't set it on this edge because of this, and I can't set it on this edge because this is still all wet. But for the most part, the patching is done. When I had the epoxy left over, I just threw some microballoons in it, and I used that and I just rolled it over. So there's a thin layer of microballoons mixed in with this, so that'll help kind of fill it. So once this cures, I don't know if I took this stuff into the house last night after doing some of the repairs on this one over here, when the airplane was upside down, the fuel tank was leaking out of the vent on the fuel filler cap. So fuel had run down the cowling, got in here, and it melted a lot of foam out of here, up around here, and some down up in here. So I had to fill that all in with microballoon slurry mix, as well as back along this edge. So fuel had gotten in there and melted that foam. So that's all been refilled. There is a fiberglass patch right here on the top, because you can see where the original crack was. This just seems to be a low spot for some reason. I don't know if it was from the accident, but it's dish, so I just threw the last of the slurry in there. It's going to take more. This will get a whole coat of microballoons, like this, smeared on thick, like 4 or 5 to 1 with the microballoons to epoxy. It makes like a putty almost, but it's hard to put some of it on here and to fill in some low spots. There is a screw hole there like this. So, but I'll mix up that slurry after. I'll probably sand this all down, kind of level it off, and then I'll coat everything with the slurry. All this will have to be sanded down, but not completely off. I just had to sand it wide enough to get in the patches of fiberglass to do there. So there's at least one there, and there's a piece down here, another piece up there, and I think a second piece in there. So it's got at least 2 layers on the inside. So got to let this stuff cure. If the temperatures are only going to be in the 50s or 40s tonight, this isn't going to cure very well. So I'll probably take them in the house after a while. What is it right now? It's about 6:30, 6:36, 7. But that's what I managed to get done here. I come out here Friday. It was, like I said, it was supposed to be 70, so I said, I'm going to go out and see what I can't do. So I came out and worked on this stuff. This stuff here, this is the bottom. This was all buckled and crinkled. So I actually glued in a strip of wood. It comes clear up into here. Cut the thickness, and then I've got, as you can see, 2 layers of fiberglass on there. And then I also had to fill in the slurry here. There is still a couple little low spots, like on this side, where it kind of sunk in. It was trying to run out from my little dams I made. But I'll fill that in with the cotton flocks and microballoons. But for the most part, once this gets trimmed up, sand her down, put some microballoons on there, sand it out, and it'll be ready for some primer. I'll sand over the whole thing, and the whole thing's going to get reshot. I have the light blue, I have the dark blue. I'll have to order some more underside white when I run into some money again. I have insignia white, but it's too white. This has got kind of a, not a cream colored, but it's a duller white. So dull as in D-U-L, not dollar. As far as the engine, I haven't done anything more with this. It's still the same as it was in the last video. So I'm just still been contemplating the best thing for making that plate to replace the oil pan and mount the motor mounts to it. But I still need, I need to order the new tubing to redo all that. So there's probably $100 worth of tubing I got to order for that. Still thinking about ways of routing hoses to redo this, and there's the piece of stainless for the exhaust pipe that'll get cut in the middle, and that'll give me a little hook to drop out of the bottom of the cowl. And if I have to, I can tack weld a little stubby on that to get it down away from the cowling, so I won't get any burn stains like I was starting to get on this. So alright, I just want to keep that short. Believe it or not, it's taken me 3 days just to get to this, because this cooler weather, that stuff doesn't dry like it does in the summertime. When you're talking it's 80-85 degrees out here, that stuff will be cured in 20 minutes and ready to sand in about a half an hour. But now it pretty much takes all night in the house to cure it, 70 degrees in the house. So that's about all it was today. Just windier and crazy. It had this door open, it got so windy I had to close it. It blew leaves all over the place, and so I did a little cleanup before I started. But this is the fiberglass that I bought. I bought this at Walmart yesterday. It's basically 2 foot by 4 foot. It was like $5, $5-6 for a 2x4 sheet of that, and that's what I got left. So, all right, I guess that's gonna do her. I don't think there's anything else to report. I mentioned my new tool. I think that's about it. Again, for anybody that hasn't watched my channels in a while or haven't seen me do fiberglass work, the best way to wet out fiberglass cloth is this. These little white foam rollers, 4-inch rollers. They're not cheap. They're getting a little pricier now from when I started buying these, but those work the absolute best for wet layups. When you throw a piece of cloth on there, usually you pour some on there and use a squeegee or I use this for smearing. Use this drywall knife to do the thicker putty stuff when you got to cake it on. But for wetting this out, trying to use a brush or no. The best way, knocked over my thinner, little cup of cleaner. The best way to do it is with them little foam rollers. Right there is the roller handle for it. And it nice thing is if you don't want it shiny when it's done, that means it's got too much. Like here's a shiny spot right there. But that's because I run over that excess epoxy with microballoons to try and get some of that into the weave so it'll sand out a little easier and then it'll be filled. But I was just trying to use it up instead of wasting it. I had probably about an ounce or two left. But normally it doesn't get this kind of shiny. But it wets out, and if you got a shiny spot here, you just keep working it and it will pick it up and lay it down where it's needed. And when you're done, you end up with this really nice kind of satin look, like looking at this in the shadow. But this is just a little shiny from using up what I had. But that'll all sand off easy. So, all right, I'm going to let that go. So if anybody's going to do any big boat fiberglass like that, this is the cat's meow when it comes to wetting out the epoxy. It's faster. It is 3 times faster than trying to use a paintbrush or a plastic Bondo squeegee to move the stuff around and wet it all out. It's just messy as hell and takes forever. So, all right, I don't know how much I'm going to get done this coming week. I'm going to try and get out and see if I can drive. I've already drove the car a couple times and it's not too bad. It's just when you stop at an intersection, you have to look left and right. That gets your head just a little off. But driving on smooth roads, it's pretty decent. So I think I'll try and go out and do a couple hours each day this week, just to kind of get back into it a little at a time, because I need the money. I got to work. I got to do something. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it. I'm going to cut this thing off, go in, and I'll be back out later, check on these, and then I'll probably take them in the house. They do have a little smell to them, the epoxy, but it's not bad. So, as always, I appreciate everyone taking their time to watch my videos. Feel free to leave any comments, questions, concerns, and appreciate everybody with their best wishes and thanks. And I will probably not see you again till next weekend, and hopefully by next weekend I'll have this pretty much sanded out and ready for primer. But I have to buy the primer from the same place I buy this paint from. So it all involves money, and which I don't have. So, but at least I get the repair work done. Oh, and I'm also going to cut out the mold pieces to make the cowl flap mold. I'm going to actually mold it up with some polycarbonate sheet. So I was looking at maybe I can get that done this week, get those pieces cut out and make up the form and get it ready to lay up the glass, but I'll have to buy more glass. So, all right, everyone, that's going to do it for now, and I will see you guys on the next one, which may not be till next weekend. So for now, this is Dino Don out.